I hope everybody is doing good. Happy Sabbath to everybody. I'm sorry, I had to get turned on for a second. I just left church. Church had a good message. Now I'm getting myself ready for the gym, so I'm so sorry that I didn't say nothing when y'all hopped on here. I was down in my creatine, which has now become a thing for me. Creatine, if you do work out, creatine is really good. It helps you with lean muscle. It helps you with endurance in the gym. So you can go extra hard. But you say you can't hear me? You can't hear me? Oh, no, you can hear me. Somebody just said it. Somebody just asked me if it was on Adventist, so you can hear me. I don't know what was going on. But yes, I am a Seventh-day Adventist. And somebody's in here like right now, what is a Seventh-day Adventist? We sacrifice cats. 11 o'clock every Saturday morning. We split a cat open and we give it to God as a holy sacrifice. No, Seventh-day Adventists are just like any other, practice of Christianity. We believe that Jesus rested on the seventh day of the week, which is Saturday, aka the Sabbath. And so a lot of us are vegetarians, or we rarely eat a lot of meat. And that's mainly the difference. A lot of Seventh-day Adventists do not wear jewelry or makeup, but it's changed. And so the girls coming in with their face beat, and somebody got on a little something, a little bling, because it's not as strict anymore. Not split my cat. Wait, hold up. Who said split my cat? I just said I left church. And we, who said split my cat? If it's who I think it is, I'm blocking you, period. And just like no questions asked at this point. Or Corey, or was that what you was saying? Split my cat. Wait, okay, never mind. I read that wrong. You said it, and I know where it comes from. Okay, I got it. But no. So Seventh-day Adventist, like I said, we church on Saturday, aka the Sabbath. And so I'm just leaving church, still sitting in the parking lot. And there's no difference. Like I said, we don't do anything any different than any other religion, except for like little minor details. Like we go to church on Saturday. A lot of us don't eat meat, or rarely eat a lot of meat. I was a vegetarian for 6 years. Then Chick-fil-A told me, I got a trick for that. And then I've been off the bandwagon ever since. But that's it. That's the only difference. Like I said, the makeup was an issue. They didn't, once upon a time, like the girls wear makeup or jewelry. Didn't like the men to wear makeup or jewelry. At one point in time, when I was baptized back in 2010, and when I was pulled into Seventh-day Adventist, the assistant pastor had me pull out my earrings, like right there in the office. He's like, if you want to do this and you want to be serious about this, give me your earrings. And literally, I popped out my earrings, gave him my earrings, and he threw them away from me. Now that's hell and brimstone, and I don't like that kind of preaching and that kind of indoctrine, because then it's like you don't really know God or learn God or respect God. You fear God, and a lot of people feel like fearing God is how you respect God. Like parents make you fear them, they beat you because they feel like if you fear me, you'll respect me. And really, it's like it's a love-hate kind of a relationship when somebody does that to you. And so I was half in, half out. And I was like, all right, God, I'm seeing everybody living this life, and they got nice cars and nice clothes, and they got houses, and they got all the stability and all the things that I'm lacking right now, God. So if I give my life to you, God, my car was broken down. It was like every time I turned around, my car was broken down. I had the apartment to take care of. I had my dog to take care of. I had a job, and I was going to school, and the car was always in the shop. So I couldn't do everything all at once. So I'm like, all right, God, I'm going to give you my life, because if I give you my life, God, I'm gonna get a Lexus. And then I did it. I gave God my life. I got baptized, and I was like, all right, Monday, I am going to Car Max. Hold on. Ooh, I'll tell you, spell check be everything. I'm about to finish. Hold on, give me 1 second. Stop rushing me. I said I got you. I just want to put a little caption up here. All right. So anyway, so I was like, all right, God, go ahead. I'm gonna give you my life. I'm gonna dedicate my soul over to you. Baptize, throw the water on me, do all you gotta do, and I'm gonna go ahead up to CarMax on Monday, and they're gonna give me keys to a Lexus. I'm gonna drive off. I'm gonna get a license plate that's gonna say God's favorite. And that ain't happen like that. God was like, that's not how I work. That's not, hey, Lamont. God was like, what's up, Mackie? God was like, you think because you gave me your life, of which I gave to you, you think I'm going to give you a Lexus? And I was like, well, can you give me a Kia? And he was like, no, ma'am, I can't. You're going to keep that broken Mazda 1997 Mazda 626 with the transmission going up, with the power steering issues. You're going to keep that car and you're going to be satisfied with it. And so I kept that car, and I'm so thankful. I had my dude at the time. His family loved the shit out of me. Ooh, let me get off church grounds. I mean, God knows I cuss. He gave me these words. But they loved me so much that they were paying for the car. Like, they saw me and my hustle, and they were like, look, it's broken down, we'll pay for it. So every time it broke down, they were throwing money into this car. But the car spent more time in the hands of the mechanic than it did the hands of the owner, me. And so, like I said, God didn't give me that Lexus. He didn't give me a Kia. He didn't give me he wasn't even a bicycle. I didn't get nothing. He's just like, look, you got a lot to do. And so, anyway, that's how I got into being a Seventh-day Adventist. I would say from that experience, it taught me patience, and it taught me understanding, because God is not a genie. And a lot of times we come to God and we're always asking God for things, and we're wagering offerings to God for things. Well, God, if I do this, will you do this instead? God, well, if I do this, and that's not how God works. God is not a, if I do this, will you do this? God he works like, if you truly want something to die in you, you have to make the sacrifice. It's not a bargain. It's not a bargain. If you want something to change, if you need it to change, and you really mean it, then you have to give a sacrifice in order for this thing to die off. It is not a trade. And so, back in 2015, I moved to Atlanta. I was going to be this actor, y'all. I was going to be so famous. Oh, I was going to be so famous. I moved to Atlanta. I had $60 in cash in my pocket and a bag of tangerines. And I drove from North Carolina to Atlanta. And it was raining. But as soon as I got into Atlanta, the rain cleared up. And this little sun was coming and busting through the clouds like this. And something inside of me was like, you about to be famous, bitch. You about to take over the world, bitch. And I was like, all right, I'm ready. And I'm eating my tangerines. And then that did not happen, y'all. I was homeless. I was homeless for almost a whole year. I was sleeping in my car, sleeping at my friend's massage parlor. I was sleeping in parking garages. I was sleeping on people's couches. I was couch surfing like a month. Like, baby, every apartment was the beach. I was couch surfing, and nothing happened except for some background work, and did like have-nots and like devious maids and stuff like that. But nothing big happened. Nothing big at all happened. And anyway, so when I came back from that, I was like, I can't do it no more. I had been off weed for 9 years. I ain't smoked weed for 9 years. Got to Atlanta, I started drinking. Have y'all ain't never been nowhere where people was drinking at 9 o'clock in the morning? As soon as I got into Atlanta, my friend was like, come meet us at Cal Tippers. We having a drink. And I'm like, nigga, it's 10, 11 in the morning. What are y'all doing? Y'all having drinks? It was a brunch every day. And so I was brunching every day. I was drinking. I started smoking Black and Milds again. I started smoking weed again. It's like I was doing all the things I said that I ain't want to do no more, but I was doing them anyway. And then when I left Atlanta after the year of I'm gonna say discovery, I said to God, I want clarity, I want focus, I want my purpose. I want whatever your version of happiness is for me. I want that, because whatever my version of happiness, whatever that looks like, is not working, and I don't know what it looks like, and I don't know how to find it because I don't know what it looks like, and I'm lost. So tell me what you need me to do. And ever since then, April 10th, 2016, I have not had a drink. What I told him is that I will sacrifice this. I don't need it anyway. It's not doing no good for me anyway. I am sacrificing my vices. And I've not had a drink since 2016. And since then, I've made so many other sacrifices in between all of that. Some directly, some indirectly. But I've made so many sacrifices. And because I made those sacrifices, God has deliberately opened doors for me. I don't know what's all going to happen tomorrow or the next day. But God has definitely opened doors for me. He's shown me things I didn't even know. He's put me in places, in rooms. I done met people from, I done hung out with Niecy Nash. I done worked with Al Sharpton. I done sat beside Chris Brown. I mean, I've met so many people. Duran Bernard. Could call him right now. Stevie Mackey, could call him right now. Avery. I mean, and the list goes on, and it's not to brag, but it's just to say that, you know, the little boy me who grew up in Baltimore, Maryland, who grew up with multiple trap houses on the block and multiple vacant houses on the block and around the corner with the gunfire across the street and all of this kind of shit, that little boy had went and was literally partying, hosting parties at the top of the most expensive, luxurious, you know, hotels in Hollywood, BET weekend. And it was such a contrast from that little dirty boy. I ain't gonna say dirty because we weren't dirty, but that little city boy with a small mind to now being at the top of one of the tallest buildings in Hollywood, looking over everything. It just goes to show you how life can change in an instance. Now, of course, it took many of years, but it just shows you how life can change, period. Whether it's an instance or over a decade, whatever. Life always changes, so don't get used to it. Don't get used to what you got right now. Don't get used to it. As a matter of fact, release all ties to it. Want more, want bigger, want better. You got a nice car now, you're going to have an even better car. Don't hold to it. Just let life be what it is. So anyway, back to God. I did not mean for this to be a testimony. I did not mean for this to be like a prayer moment or anything like that. But that's how he be working through me. And so, whoever you are, who's in this room right now, first, again, happy Sabbath. But I know you're going through something. I can't tell you what it is. I can imagine because we're all human and we all suffer through some of the same things. Somebody is going through some money issues right now. Somebody is looking for a job right now. Somebody just lost a job right now. Somebody just got a job right now. Somebody just lost somebody close to them. Somebody is losing somebody close to them. Or you might be watching yourself. You might be in your last days. You might have just got a diagnosis that's telling you you're in your last days. You might be homeless. You might have just got a house. You might be in school and having a hard time in school. You might be trying to get into school and having a hard time getting accepted into the school. Whatever your dilemma looks like, I need you to change your perception on it. I need you to believe that whatever it is, you're going to get through it. There's so many cells in the body that we need to talk to, that we need to program. We have to talk to ourselves in a positive way. We have to encourage ourselves. We have to keep believing that things are going to get better. Every day I wake up and I say I'm amazing, whether I feel amazing or not. It's a choice. And when you start programming yourself to believe these things, they become real. Perception is one of the biggest parts of life. It's how you see something. The saying is, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And it's quite literal, if you will, because life is going to always throw you shit. Life is going to always throw you a situation. You can either sit in it and you can mope and you can mourn and you can be depressed about it, or you can take it and do something with it. Everything I've been through, it might have been horrible in the moments, but thankfully I kept my faith and I kept my eyes open, and I was able to see that the things I had gone through, they were all with intention. I would not be sitting here talking to you about God. I would not be sitting here talking to you in general, because I was too busy once upon a time just posting nothing but body pictures. You went to my Instagram page about 10 years ago, you would have seen nothing but nipples, 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 and more nipples. You get a little nipple every now and then. But back then, that's what I was leading with, because that's all I knew about myself. I knew I was cute. I knew I could pull a little thirst trap right quick. But through discovery and through sacrifice, through prayer, through faith, through study, through all of these things and full acceptance of myself, I realized I actually have a brain. I actually have a conversation. I actually have a testimony. And people actually, they can relate. So why am I using just my body when I can use all of who I am to inspire, to motivate, to encourage? And so anyway, I don't know what you're going through, but take your lemons right now and turn them into lemonade. Life is going to always happen until it's no longer. Shit is going to always come at you until it's no longer. The best thing you can do for yourself is to find the silver lining in every situation and be grateful that things are happening to you. The pastor just got finished talking about it. Now, he ain't say it like this, but this is what he was getting to say. The devil only attacks you if you're worth attacking. When you're doing something, when you're believing in something, when you're working towards something, that's when the enemy attacks. But as long as you sitting back and you ain't doing nothing, you overindulging in sin and you doing all these kind of things, the devil ain't right about you doing nothing, because guess what? You ain't doing nothing. He can have his way. It's when you're trying to do something, it's when you face the adversity. You're trying, like I said, you're trying to get the degree, you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. That's when the adversity comes. So take it as a blessing. Take it as a sign that you are on the right path, that you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. When it gets hard, when it gets tough, you are doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Get worried when life seems too good to be true. When things when they seem just too quiet, when they seem just too peaceful, be worried then. But as long as you got some chaos going on, know that it is not in vain, that something greater is on the other side. I'm about to open up a church. Y'all come to my church. I always had this thing. I was like, God wants me to be a pastor, but I don't know if I want to be a pastor, because I was doing some things, and I still be doing some things. I ain't gonna lie. When I'm like, God will be like, no. But that's the thing we tell ourselves, that we're not equipped to preach God and to save people, but we all are. There's no one without sin. But I feel like he always wanted me to be a pastor, and for a while people was calling me Pastor Lou, which I ain't mind. Pastor Lou, I'll take that. So would y'all come to my church? Can I get some tithes and offerings down here? Go ahead and drop me a few little stars and rainbows and whatever else the Lucky Charms got up here. Drop me some little stickers down there, a badge or two for the word today. And if there's anybody in need of prayer, please let me know so we can pray. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to pray for everybody in here. I'm not sure what your religion is, what your denomination is. I don't know who you believe in, what you believe in, if you believe in anything. But if you're able to see me right now, if you have the captions on and you're able to read the captions, if you're able to hear me right now, if you're able to do both, it doesn't matter. As long as this message is getting to you right now, I want you to stay encouraged. I want you to know that whatever it is you're going through, you're going to get through it. You've gotten through 100% of the things that you've already experienced, so you're going to get through this. Put your faith in a greater source. If you don't believe in a greater source, make yourself the greater source and believe in yourself. There's nothing in this world that you're not going to be able to get through if you just put it in your spirit to persevere. Simple enough. It's a simple prayer. That's all it is. That's it. Take it to God if you can. If you believe, take it to God. If not, like I said, put it in yourself. Strive, push past, persevere. That's all to it. That's all I got. It's not a deep prayer. Just know that somebody's looking out for you. Know that somebody just prayed for you. Know that you are loved, whoever you are, wherever you are. If you ain't heard it today, I love you. If you ain't said it to yourself, go find a mirror, open up your cell phone, turn it on selfie mode, and tell yourself that you love you. I said it. If you haven't seen it on one of my clips when I hosted Love Unboxed for Impulse DC, I said it then, I'll say it again. You are in the longest relationship with yourself. That is the longest relationship and the most important relationship you're going to ever have, is the relationship with self. And I can sit here and tell you, I have a million insecurities, but I have a trillion reasons why I love myself and those insecurities. And anybody at any point in time could call me conceited, can call me arrogant, could call me anything, and I ain't saying I'm giving them a reason to. I'm just saying they could. I've been called it by people who don't even know me. People who saw my light and they didn't like my light. People who saw my light and they just didn't like my light. Didn't know me at all. They just didn't like my light. They didn't like that people liked me. They didn't like that I have a following. They didn't like that I like myself. They just didn't like me because they didn't like them. So in life, realize that people will say and do things to you and you can't take it personally because it's all them. And so, call me what you may. I love me. I've seen me in the lowest of places. Like the pastor just said, y'all don't come in here acting too bougie. If God's delivered you from an addiction, put your hand in the air. I've seen me at my lowest. I felt me at my lowest. I've been in cuffs. I've been sleeping in car. When I tell you, baby, I've been seeing me in all shades and colors of life, that I now know my worth and how much I love me. I've seen me disassociate from myself in situations where I've sat back and was like, damn, how did I get through that? How did I do that? So when I say I love me, I love me. And you might say some shit that might temporarily hurt my feelings, but it's not going to change my narrative on me. I love me. And so I'm hoping, wishing, praying, pushing that on you right now, whoever you are, that you find deep down inside of you love for yourself. I know things be a little scattered sometimes, and maybe you can improve upon certain things in your life, and maybe you can improve upon maybe the way you look or the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, or whatever that looks like. But please appreciate yourself for who you are. Love yourself for who you are. Honor yourself for who you are. And just love on you. Just love on you. Even if you don't feel it right now. Just hug yourself. Go look in the mirror. Go have a conversation. Just go. That thing you went through that you thought you weren't going to get through, you did it. You don't need nobody else to say I'm proud of you. It's cute. It is cute. But you don't need nobody else to congratulate you. Go congratulate yourself. You're going to be with you forever. Forever, until you die. If nobody else is there when you die, you're going to be there witnessing your death, experiencing your death. You will always be with you. When I don't care, wherever you are, you're with you. Go work on that relationship. You can't go through life not liking yourself. You can't go through life not liking yourself. How can you possibly be a friend and an enemy to yourself? Why would you want to be a friend and an enemy to yourself? So whoever you are, that's my message. That's my hope. That's my prayer for you today. Like I said, I didn't mean to get in here and do that. And I didn't watch the numbers dwindle. They was up in the 30s. Then it got down to 11. And that's fine. Hopefully those people got what they needed out of the conversation. If not, one day it might resonate with them. Or maybe it simply just did not apply to them. But whoever's left in this room, the message was for you. And so I ain't going to hold you no much longer. I know. I'm about to pull up to the gym anyway, and I'm about to spin around 3 times, and this whole outfit is going to be something else. Go have yourself an amazing day, an amazing weekend. Do something incredible for yourself. Love on yourself. And then when you're done with that, go love on somebody else. Until I talk to y'all next time. Okay, sir. Is that how we doing things around here? Until I talk to y'all again, be blessed. Have a good one.